Hey YouTube, and welcome to the series I wish I didn't have to make. Here I'm going to be reviewing bad movies. First on the shit show list is Ouiji Summoning. Now I know what you're thinking, the trailers to that look good and scary. False! That would be Ouija Origin of Evil. 2016's pretty much been the year where companies be like, hey, did you see that trailer for whatever movie? We can make one and put it out before they do and make tens of dollars. Then with a budget of $142, they go make the movie. And let me tell you, watching this one, I wanted to find something to crawl into and fucking die. So it starts off with a woman that I already wanted to die, shows up at her mom's house. She's quickly attacked by some woman hearing voices and wearing a nightgown, of course, and why not? It's about 3 in the afternoon. She escapes to go where? Down into the basement. After a doll apparently tells the crazy white lady where she is. Oh god, I'm already wishing for death. The woman is arrested, and she is white. Anything else, she would have been shot. So then they jump to introduce 4 more characters that I could already give a shit less about. A mother, a daughter, which look about 10 years apart, and a boyfriend and his loser friend. They're going camping. But first, they gotta stop at her dad's house to pick up some money, for some odd reason. So they drive about 6 feet, and all of a sudden they're at the father's house. The father is obviously probably a Pokemon Go pedophile. He's about the strangest person you'll ever see in a movie. And then they're off, camping trip away, stopping to take a piss because he's gotta go. Conveniently at the house where the lady was murdered. I heard someone cry, said the loser friend. So they pile out of the mystery machine to go investigate. Look, I found a Ouija board. Bam, cut to camping. Hey, you want to give this a whirl? So they begin to ask it questions and it begins to move on its own. Of course the girl freaks out, so the guys continue outside the tent with it. I think there's a little bit of a hand job going on too. They continue outside asking it questions. The board says it's there and it wants to talk to the girl. The girl is still in the tent and refuses, obviously. So they come back in, apparently freaked out. And the girl's like, well, what did it say? Well, the board said you had to kill the loser friend. Or... ... After a small nightmare sequence in which the girl kills the friend, they wake up. And, of course, one has to go piss. He asks the friend to follow him out. Again, for a handy. So they go out. The girl sees a shadowy figure crying. Boom, surprise. The friend went missing. Then the boyfriend's missing. Cut to the girl all alone in the woods. Nope, there's a nightgown lady, and the loser friend is dead. Apparently, he jumped off the side of a cliff. No cliffs. Don't know how he ended up there. Then the voice says, kill your grandmother, or... ... At this point I was pretty thirsty and looking for a nice beverage to help me through this movie. So cut to the girl and her mom and dad having an emotional talk about the friend's death. How are you doing, honey? How do you think I'm doing, Dad? My friend just died. As she gets up and walks out of the room like the rich snobby bitch that she is. So if you have a spirit telling you to go kill your grandmother, what would you do? Stay away from your grandmother? Not this simple, bitch. She's on her way to grandma's house to spend some quality time. Some dumb shit happens, and her dad shows up just in time to see Mom jump off the staircase to her death. She fell maybe 30 feet, flat on her back, but somehow it killed her. Maybe if she had sprung for life alert, she'd still be alive. After the funeral, boom, we finally have a priest. Took long enough. He is here to bless this house, something we've never seen in a horror movie before. After blessing a few rooms, shit gets real. Real dumb. As the spirit of a demonic girl crawls out of the bathroom where she was obviously doing her business. She crawls towards her. All the doors are locked. No one can get to her. She screams, the doors open, and of course, the ghost is gone. Cut to Sarah, the girl, in the hospital. her parents telling her boyfriend to pretty much fuck off. Don't return her text, leave her alone. She needs some time by herself. Because that's what a crazy person needs, is to be alone with their thoughts. Cut to the priest in the dining room where it looks like a few floggings have happened. And the spirit shows up behind him. I assume he's dead. They never show anything. Sarah leaves the hospitals to go stay with her dad. Sarah gets a call from her boyfriend and leaves to go see him. They talk. She almost kills him as she has a knife to his back of his neck. She goes back home. The spirit attacks him in his car. He swerves off the road and stops. A fire starts in the distance and makes its way to the car. It's funny that you can actually see the trail of fluid on the ground that is making the fire head towards him. They must have forgot to take that out in editing, or they couldn't afford editing. So after he blows up, father picks up the daughter to go take a vacation. The ex-wife calls hysterical to warn him, says he should just stay away from her, bring her back there so they can get her some help. He says he knows what needs to be done. He pulls over to what just seems like a bunch of wood. I thought he was going to set her on fire for, obviously being some type of fucking witch. But instead they have a heart-to-heart. He tells her that it's okay and he'd forgive her for anything she's done and that she needed to forgive herself. Then she stabs herself. And she sees everything that happened to the bad spirit. A mother killing her own son because he was trying to help her with her drug addiction. Again, really didn't show anything. End credits. At this point, it was the happiest moment of the film as I jumped up, screaming for joy. The end credits. The shit is finally over. No post-credits scene. Thank God it's not Marvel. So let's see. The pros, it was only an hour and a half. Had this thing been 2 hours, I probably would have stabbed out my eyes with a rusty spoon. And another pro, this movie could be used as a torture device in Guantanamo. The cons, acting was shitty. There were no visual effects to speak of at all. Didn't see any deaths besides hers, which was just the motion of her stabbing herself and then what looked like about 40 packets of ketchup. And yada yada yada. In conclusion, I give this movie a 1 out of 5 stars. Now, I wouldn't suggest this movie to anyone to watch unless you like pain and suffering. If there's anything you'd like me to review that you're not sure about if you want to watch, leave it in the comments below. I'll do it if I can, and I'll get back to you in a timely manner. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time. Peace out.